So matchups, I'll just go over the scores. I beat Reed 176-106. Austin beat Tom 143-128. Bradley beat Riley 133-117. Siggy beat Chris. That's tough. 150-98. He beat Evan 187-117. That's 187. That's the highest score so far, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
98's definitely the lowest, right?
Yeah, I think that's the first one below 100.
With our league settings, it's crazy to not get 100, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Sorry, Chris. Sorry, Chris, if you watched this.
Oh, wait, no. He had 61.
All right, never mind.
Not even close.
What else? I think those are definitely... Yeah, 108, but 102. Geez, he had 102 week 1. All right, so is there like a particular matchup anyone wants to start with?
Well, can you just scroll down to the standings first, Colin? We can look at that first.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I should. Last week, I think I went over. Scores just to look at the top guys. Matt Ryan, man, he was third overall. Jeez.
Oh, yeah. Are you doing it by position?
Yeah.
Just want to quit. The only thing, I have 1 point to make here, and that it's Jalen Hurts at QB6. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Good fantasy option.
Stafford at 13. Well, Evan and Ehi made a bet. So what? It's for the whole year. Who comes in first for this league, right? Between the two.
But they did. But what was the scoring? Is it in this or redraft scoring, Evan?
Redraft.
Redraft.
Oh. Well,
that's even better. That's even better for Hurts over Stafford.
Right. That's what I think. That's definitely an advantage, Evan.
Why is it an advantage?
4 point versus 6 point throwing touchdowns.
No, our redraft is 6.2, but this also has some other bonuses in there, right?
I thought our redraft was 4.
That's 6.
Okay, never mind.
Oh. Well, Hurts is ranked
first downs in here too, so I mean, I guess that's not that big of a deal.
Hurts is the 3 overall, like through the year, right? At QB.
Yeah. Hurts 3, Stafford 6.
Wow.
Great fantasy option.
Running backs, Eckler took 1.
J-Rob got up there in the top 6. That's a pretty big week for him.
I want to talk about David Montgomery's injury real quick.
Oh. Do we want to wait up or?
Oh, we can do that. Yeah, okay. Sure. I'll say my piece later.
Yeah, I figured you'd have something to say.
I also think it's pretty, if you scroll down a touch there, Collin, on the running backs before we jump to receivers, Connor ended up in the top 10 with 2 tutties. Pretty big week for him.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks, but
making it really difficult too because Edmonds is actually producing, but Connor keeps stealing everything at the goal line.
Yeah. What's just been doing? It's been consistent, just no super high scoring game.
Yeah, I mean he's been a perfectly fine flex though, double digits every week.
Yeah,
I think he's outperforming. I feel like a lot of those touchdowns are. You're only playing Connor for the desperation touchdown at the goal line, right? That's the only reason you ever play him.
Right.
And I think a lot of times the Cardinals are going to be scoring from further out than the goal line. And then if they're on the goal line, I feel like Kyler runs in a decent amount of those at the end. Like, that would be my guess. Like, it'll regress.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to average a touchdown a game. It's just a matter of if he's going to keep stealing that many touchdowns from Chase.
Speaking of regressing to the mean, Cordell Patterson.
Every other week, he'll be pretty solid.
Cordero.
We can get we could get into the players during the matchups. I was just kind of going real quick.
Any tight end that jumped out, I guess. your boy Uzama showed up for the Bengals.
Yeah. Oh, I told Siggy, I was like, he's gonna score a touchdown. You should add that to your bet. That's feeling it.
Yeah, I guess that helps when Higgins is out. He's their third option, it looks like.
Yeah. No, he's underrated for sure. Here's defense. Bill Ed.
The Bills' defense has been very, very good so far.
Yeah, I don't know if I said it. I don't know if I was recorded saying it, but I've definitely said that the Dolphins' defense is good. I just want to issue a quick retraction on that.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot with their offense as well, but yeah, it's not great. All right. Oh wait, Austin, you wanted to see standings?
Yeah.
I just want to point something out real quick before we get into standings. I'm going to propose for next year we get rid of the divisions. But anyway, we can talk about that another time. But
You're going to propose to get rid of the divisions?
yeah.
What's that?
I don't still think they're conducive to a dynasty environment.
I swear you've used that word like 3 times in the last week.
Is that because you're afraid to play Chris every year?
The only way that it affects it at all is if the person in one division would be outside the top 4, because the only thing that this is doing is it's guaranteeing that each division winner gets in. So, I mean, and then the third and fourth place people that are in this are based off of points anyway, record in points. So,
Doesn't it depend on who you play your division mates more often, right? I would assume.
no, it doesn't. It's random.
I thought you played division mates more.
In ESPN, normally you play your division mates more often, but I don't know about Sleeper.
I don't know. Forget it. Anyway, talk about the standings.
Yep.
Was there something you wanted to talk about, Austin?
For standings, Bradley still stays on top of 4-0, and it's kind of amazing. I mean, the more I see, I know we were giving him crap this week about switching his team name to the infirmary because he hasn't had that many injuries, but then I looked and remembering back to the people that he's dropped and stuff too, he has had quite a few people get hurt. He's had, let me scroll down through here. KJ Hamler tore his ACL. Michael Thomas.
KJ Hamler.
Gus Edwards. He also lost someone else too.
ETN.
Picked up White.
ETN, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then he picked up James White, and then he got hurt. So
Claypool missed a game. Dalvin missed a game.
Claypool and Dalvin are smaller, but yeah, I mean, he has had like 3 people have pretty major injuries. Not that they were all elite players, but a couple of them were pretty decent.
I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, he got pieces back for all those guys, so it's like, if you look at his team, obviously if ETN's playing, right, he probably would be like more happy rather than starting Mike Davis. But if you look at his team, all his stars are healthy. Derrick Henry's good. Dalvin Cook is Dalvin Cook. He is banged up a game or two, and then he comes back and drops 40. His wide receivers are healthy with the exception of Claypool, who's not like a must-start receiver. I don't know. I think Bradley's injury situation's no better or worse than anybody else's, really. It's just fancy.
I do want to point out got 541, which is pretty solid in 1 and 3. Like, Tom, I feel bad for you. You've had some tough luck.
I'm used to it.
Any comment on that, Tom?
No, it's just been bad. I feel like, I set up my team to be one of the teams that wins this year, and it's just not at all.
Yeah, we'll get into some of the trades maybe later. But yeah, me, Evan, and Eddie about ones that are in Austin. We're talking about ones that didn't look bad at the beginning when you made them, but right now they don't look great.
I think also I was kind of looking today too before the call a little bit, and Siggy is sitting at 2-2, and his 2-2 is like, if you look at his 4 matchups, it makes no sense. Like, he lost to people he shouldn't beat and beat people he shouldn't have.
Did I lose to Siggy? I did, right?
Right.
I beat Siggy. That's tough.
Who else did Stiggy lose to?
He lost to me in week 1 too.
Oh,
But
okay.
that was his like worst performance. His team's very hit or miss right now.
Is there a matchup that anyone wants to start with, or else I'll just go down the line?
Well, I guess before we get into that, Colin, did you want to jump into our matchups for next week too? Kind of look at those.
Yeah, Austin, do you want to share your screen and just take over?
Oh no, you got this. I'm just driving the bus. I want to be your passenger driver. So I want to help drive the combo.
No,
Looking at next week though, I kind of called out in the chat that I was shocked when I looked at next week's matchup and you're projected to beat me by 11. That's the first time I've been projected to get beat at all this year. So I did not love that.
Yeah, I don't we don't need to spend a bunch of time on next week. I mean,
Not to slight Collins' team, but you got some high projections in there for no reason. Like Ridley, 18. I don't think he's put up 18 yet.
I think I text you guys, they kind of stick to their projections, from the beginning of the year, much, unless there's an injury or something like that. So I don't look too much into.
The only player that projections have swung a lot on my team are DeAndre Swift. They started out 10, 11, and then they went up to 18, and now they're 13 or 14, I think. So it's they do change, but they're not significant compared to ESPN. You guys are right, week to week.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think the other matchup I was going to call out, well, two other matchups I wanted to call out was the battle of the battle for the second overall rookie pick between Reed and Evan.
Evan's winning that game easy.
I'm praying AJ Brown's out. I love that guy, but
I know Reed. I was talking to Reed a little bit earlier this week, and he said that he's going to have to make sure both you guys keep each other honest on your lineup to not throw it, but you also want to lose. So
yeah,
Reed knows that he's going to lose.
I mean, we should just say this up front. Reed's starting lineup every week is as close to the line of intentionally losing games as it could possibly be.
The thing is, he doesn't have a better option, though. It's not like he's putting worse players in.
Oh, I know.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's
But
done.
then Evan's sitting here copping people out at 2-2. So
yeah, Evan and I have the same record, which is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, I'm about to be 3-2.
I think you're outscoring me too.
Let me go.
Am I actually?
What? Okay, 540.
No. Okay.
No, I'm not.
that would have been boof. I would have died.
I got way more points allowed than you, so that's definitely. I could be 3-1 right now.
Right.
Another bounce my way.
Crazy.
And then jumping back before we get into the matchups from this past week, I think this is a big week for Tom because he has to play Bradley, and dropping to 1-4 seems like a death sentence. He might be 3 games out of the playoffs. So, I mean, that's the toughest matchup you could face. But I didn't know what he had any trades in mind. Are you trying to do anything different this week, Tom?
I'm not going to do anything different this week, but if I lose to Bradley, I have to probably do something.
You kind of cut out at the end. I couldn't quite hear you.
I have to do something if I lose to Bradley, but we'll see what that is.
I mean, Tom is just the absolute knife in the heart is Kamara's performance this year.
Right. It's not, and the crazy thing is his rushing stats are better than they've ever been. Like Evan said, though, Jameis just doesn't check down. He just throws to everyone.
He just bombs it.
It's Kamara and then Kittle and Woods.
Everyone's
especially.
underperforming.
I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
But
Do you think there's any chance with how good Taysom did last week that they sub him in there if the Saints lose another week or two?
Saints stink.
They're 2-2 right now.
they could definitely roll Taysom at some point. I don't think yet, but yeah, they're not going to make the playoffs. So
I didn't know if you guys heard anything about any speculation on that.
I haven't, but I could definitely see it at some point. Just to test him out for maybe the last couple games of the season.
Right. All right, Colin, take it away.
all right, God, about time. Okay, well, anything, I'll just go with the first matchup. Austin, do you have any questions for me? Because you usually do. This was obviously kind of boring since I was playing Reed, but
I have a question, Colin.
okay, go for it, Riley.
Are you panicking about Miles Sanders?
Yeah, that's why I traded him to.
Oh,
Chris.
shit. Yeah, you're right. I forgot you traded him.
yeah.
Wait, what'd you get for him again? I don't remember.
Great, Colin.
So I traded Sanders, a 2024 second, and then who else did I trade?
Brian
Blank.
Edwards.
Oh, thank you, Brian Edwards for Calvin Ridley. So
Fleece and a half.
Please.
That's a painful trade on both
That's
sides.
the police.
I mean,
I call the police on that one.
it's based on Sanders' value right now, which is at an all-time low.
Right.
Chris could have gotten more for Ridley, but if Sanders returns to a mid to high running back 2, as I think he can be if he gets the volume, and Brian Edwards ends up being decent, which he definitely could, it might not end up being a bad deal for Chris, but right now, that was a very good deal for you, Colin.
The thing that is like somewhat, it's like good and bad, is that Sanders looks pretty good when he gets the ball.
Right.
Oh, he looks great.
But the situation is bad, which like they could change it, but the Eagles' offense is stubborn. Well, it's a nice way to say it, I guess.
Not even like the Eagles' offense is doing bad though. They're scoring points. It's coming in weird ways, and they're using Kenny Gainwell quite a bit too.
Yeah, I'm about to
like
start him.
Gainwell's playing like every single third down. I don't know. Being an Eagles fan, I don't know how to comment on it. I don't know why them the ball more.
I feel like I know, Evan, I've talked to you like the last 2 years. I love Sanders. I think he's so talented. I'm just tired of waiting for the volume to match it.
He's never got the volume.
Is it egregious to say that Sanders and Gibson are kind of like similar in my mind?
I've always thought that.
I think
they're very similar, like running styles and build as well.
I just mean like they both should be like really high performing fantasy backs, and they just aren't.
Yeah, I think what hurts. Well, actually, I was going to bring up in PFF Gibson's pass blocking grade because it's really, really bad. I wonder if that plays a role in his lower third volume. But
I didn't realize it was that bad. I mean, when you're starting, four backup offensive linemen, I can see why Gainwell played more than because he's a better pass blocker. I didn't know Sanders was bad though.
Oh no, Gibson. I don't know what Sanders is. Gibson, because you were a couple weeks ago like, why is he not getting?
Oh yeah, he sucks for whatever reason. He's like 6'2" and he can't block.
And the problem is that McKissick looks really good every time he touches the ball too. The guy makes plays.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It's a hard situation. All right, we can move on from Miles Sanders.
Yeah. Anyway.
What I was going to jump down to on your team, Colin, because I just can't talk about Cordero Patterson. There's just no way that guy's going to be relevant at the end of the year. I can't talk about it. So I was going to ask about Henderson. Looking at his stats, he had over 15 every game he's played. So do you think he's more of an RB2 now, like for sure, than he is a flex, and that you can just have the luxury to put him in your flex spot?
Yeah, I mean, he's my RB2 now with Sanders gone. I've always thought he was an RB2. Like when I traded for him, I thought he had the potential to be a high-end RB2 just because I thought he'd get the volume.
Right.
Like a safe RB2 now. And if he gets hurt, I'd be comfortable with putting Michelle there. Just because
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at kind of the splits between him and Michelle on the field, and I thought as good as Michelle did last week that he would definitely see quite a bit, but Sanders played 90% of the snaps, and looking at the carry total, I think Michelle only had like 3 total carries. So I think that kind of goes to show that Henderson's healthy. It's not really much of a timeshare. It's more of a lead dog and a supplementary piece, which is pretty shocking to me. I did not think that's what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Riley.
I was going to say the Rams running back by committee, if you can even call it that, is what you wish it was in San Francisco. Like you feel comfortable starting the lead back instead of the coach just like mixing it up on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Nigga, I was talking to Eddie yesterday about Colin. Colin, if you can go look at your team now after the trade, I think for those that predicted you to make the playoffs, I think you're in a really good spot now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. Injuries can happen, so
Right.
we'll see. But I think it's between me. Like, I put myself in the playoffs now. Before I didn't. I don't think I projected myself to be in there, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's close between Austin, me, and Bradley right now. And Ehi. If Ehi stays healthy, he's actually performed really well.
Right. He's been the most consistent team, I think, actually, of anyone.
Yeah.
Like week to week basis. How much his team is scoring on average.
Yeah, I'm eating crow on that. I thought his team was going to be way more volatile. I think just real quick on the playoff picture, I went from being confident in like winning the division to now I feel like I'm the fifth team. So I feel like I'm the fifth out of 4 teams in the playoffs. Or is it 6 teams?
It's 4.
Sure.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm the fifth team, which is painful.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, I feel like there's 5 of us competing for 4 spots. So actually I think there's 6 of us competing for 4 spots. I think Siggy's that bridge team that if a couple things go his way, he might be able to fall into some luck, which winning he won the league last year in the redraft, so he obviously has that on his side. But I think we'll have to wait and see on him. I don't think he'll make it, but he is 2-2.
I think Tom's still. I know Tom's 1-3, but his team's still too good to count out.
Right.
Some of his guys turn around. Would anyone trade for Tyler Boyd? I'm just curious.
Yes, I would try to, but Reed wants a 2nd-round pick for him. I'm not giving him a 2nd-round pick for him.
Oh, it's kind of weird, Austin, to say that someone's asking for a 2nd-round pick is too much, especially when Tyler Boyd is worth infinitely more than Damian Williams.
Especially the only pick I have in the 2nd round is the first pick in the 2nd round right now. So I can't fathom giving the 11th overall pick for Tyler Boyd next year.
I'm happy to join in any 3-team trades.
But yes, giving the 12th overall pick for Damian Williams is reasonable, right?
Well, like you said though, if you're feeling like that you need some running back help and you're the 5th team out, that's why I kind of offered that.
I got you. I'm just giving you a little bit of grief. All right, we can. I think it is egregious to think that Cordell Patterson is not a relevant fantasy option.
Oh, me and Riley are biased because we both have him, but I definitely think you can put him in your flex and be pretty comfortable. I know his snap count is really low.
He's got 30% snap there. That's hilarious. I didn't know that.
but when look, he's still getting the volume of someone that's playing 60+%.
He's the number 2 target behind Calvin Ridley on that team.
Dude, it's wild. This dude's on the field for 15 snaps a game, and he gets
every time he's 30, and every time he touches the ball, he looks like a hybrid of Christian McCaffrey and Stephon Diggs, like running around. It's insane.
Yeah. I think
it took 8 years for a team to figure out how to use this guy.
Yeah, Matt Nagy's a magician in the backfield, and so the best way to use Cordell Patterson is very clearly every 3rd down you bring him in and you run him straight up the gut and get no yards. The Falcons are doing it wrong.
Yeah, no, it is crazy.
He's the running back 3. I mean, obviously, running back 3 is insane. He'll probably end the year like top 20. Top 20?
I'd agree with that. Yeah,
I gotta do some stuff for work, so I'll be multitasking.
You're good. Right. I really want your opinion anyway.
Yeah, we just started.
Why wouldn't you want the opinion of the de facto commissioner of the league, the Jerry Jones of the league?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey, your Yankees are already down 2 at the end of the 1st, just an FYI.
All right, is there
yeah, but you're too scared to bet, so that sucks for you.
I took the over. I took over 8. I got $40 on it.
Over 8 runs scored?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to
Wait, we didn't talk about Reed's team. Reed said to call out.
What games have you guys talked about so far?
Just the viewer from the first one.
Read so far. We're just closing it out. The only thing I was gonna ask is Brandon Ayuk. What is his status for the rest of the year? What do you guys think his outlook is?
I mean, I don't even know. I don't trust any San Francisco player.
Oh.
I don't touch that team. I haven't for years.
The only person worth starting in San Francisco, or there's two people now. It's Debo. At least for the time being, it's Debo Samuel, and then if Trey Lance is starting, you have to start him in redraft. You have to.
We're not playing
I'd still
Kittle.
start
I
Kittle.
don't know about that. Yeah.
Oh, Kittle, yeah.
We're gonna rehash this whole Jalen Hurts situation all over again.
Jalen Hurts is the QB3, by the way, on the year.
Oh, let's.
I think Trey Lance, if he starts in the NFL, you have to start him in fantasy.
I mean, he dropped 26 in our league and a half.
And a half, yeah, it's insane. And he didn't even look that good, and that's the
He did not look good.
I don't know if he's there. I don't know if he's a must start. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even made enough an NFL start yet.
If you've put up 26 points and a half while you're not looking good on a week with no prep.
No, that's a good point. I'm not saying he won't be good in fantasy or he's not like a good valuable option, but I don't know if he's a must start right now.
Right, let's not talk about must start versus viable option versus number one receiver. Call out Reed's team. He said to call out some guys on his team. Devontae Smith was a foot away from scoring 10 more points. He stepped out of bounds on a touchdown. Fant did well. Nice to see his tight ends doing well. And he's got really not much on the bench. Chenault might be a viable fantasy option now with Chark injured.
Right, I agree.
So,
yeah,
he's their number one target.
So would you say a must start?
No, just before. I mean, I don't.
Shut up, Maggie. Get out of here. You're just trying to be annoying.
Catch it.
I think Jacksonville receivers get more appealing the longer the season goes on.
Yeah. Yeah. Agree.
Anything else on this game? We spent a lot of time.
No.
Yeah, how long you been talking about
AJ
this?
Taylor with minus 1.5 points, kind of funny.
All right, we're going to Tom and Austin. I'm sure we'll take a lot of time on this one.
Yeah, I'm 4 for 4 for starting the wrong quarterback every week so far.
You just gotta trade one away at that point.
Yeah.
Forget the headache. Just start one guy.
It's very fun. I was actually going to reach out to Collin after this since his team has done so well recently. He's definitely in the playoff hunt. Maybe he's interested in Brady again.
Over
Aaron Rodgers
right?
Austin, I don't want to worry. I appreciate your constant one to give me Brady, but
Yeah, I really like to see from my team that Zeke has popped back after everybody was doubting him the first 2 weeks. So I think he's kind of shut everybody up, which I've been pretty excited with.
Yeah, I'm gonna need him to regress so that the Cowboys receivers have to be used more.
Right. Dak only threw the ball 27 times, and he ended up with how many fantasy points? 30 plus in the league?
36.7.
Wow.
yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Cowboys just released Jalen Smith.
Damn.
Wow. He's that bad?
Hey, Rams sign him. Hey, I've been telling y'all the Rams need an inside backer. I hope the
Shoot,
Rams sign
the
him.
Eagles. I'll take them.
Why would he want to go to a losing franchise?
Every fan base is going to say sign them, every single one.
Shout out to my boy Tyreek for the win this week because I could not win without him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll thank the Eagles secondary for that one. He was about an inch away from getting another touchdown too.
I know it, dude. I mean, you were at the game, so you got to enjoy. If you want to talk anything else about anything that happened.
No, I mean he just torched. I mean Mahomes is incredible. It's incredible watching. We were pretty close to the field. That was the first time I sat really low, and it's just like we had like that one just pass over the defender's head. We didn't have Slay on him. I don't know why. I guess Slay's probably not as fast anymore. But he just burnt.
I was gonna say he's getting up there.
Evan, who'd you go with to the game?
My dad.
Just your dad? I got you.
I think the
Yeah.
Chiefs. Oh, all right. I was gonna say their series I saw was touchdown, touchdown, interception, touchdown, 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 and their touchdown. They didn't punt. Had the interception.
Eagles didn't punt either, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Neither team punted the whole game?
No.
Yeah, I saw that.
Wow. That's a fun game to go to then.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, if you've got guys playing Chiefs defense, that's you've got a promising week.
Yeah.
I've got
What about Hubbard, Austin? Were you expecting more from him?
I thought he would catch the ball more. I feel like he should have caught more. They ended up they didn't even use Freeman too much. They actually brought in some other dude I'd never even heard of, and he snagged a bunch of catches like the last 2 drives of the game when they were kind of just in garbage time.
Royce Freeman?
No, yeah, Royce Freeman was the backup, but then they brought in a third string guy. He kind of cleaned up in garbage time at the end of the game. He got like probably 3 or 4 catches in the last 2 drives for 30 plus yards. Could have been Hubbard's, and he would have been in a really good spot. But I mean, yeah, if McCaffrey's out this next week, which he's about 50-50 right now to see if he's going to play or not, I don't know if I can play him over Lockett again. Even though I think he outperformed him this week, but neither one was very good.
Austin, any nerves with DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah, I was talking to Collin about this today. I actually was listening to a podcast this week, and they kind of talked about the Cardinals receiving, like the receivers. I shouldn't say just receivers, but the people that catch the ball on the team. I think they have 4 wide receivers and a tight end, and every single one of them has between 18 to 25 targets, which includes Hopkins, Kirk, Rondale Moore, Max Williams, and AJ Green.
Oh no, yeah,
love to hear that. But the good
offense
news is
operates so much better that way.
the good news is Kyler's on pace for 5,400 yards right now, so he can keep that up. I think that Hopkins will definitely see better days. I mean, he's still seeing 6+ targets a game, -1 game. So I think as long as he does that, he's fine. He also got matched up with Jalen this past week.
I was gonna say it was a bad matchup.
I think he'll do better. I am definitely a little bit disappointed. I feel like he's also, I'm not saying to the point that he's declining, but he's definitely not as good as he was 2 years ago, I would say. He's no longer like in the conversation with Tyreek and Devontae at the top. Like, I think he's more of a closer to 10 than he is to 1.
Wow, 10.
Am I missing?
You don't think he's top 10?
Oh, you said he's closer. That means you're saying he's more likely to be 6 through 10 than he is 1 through 5.
Right.
What? That's insane.
You think it's insane?
I mean, shocking at least.
I mean, I'm saying from a fantasy perspective, not from a real
fantasy. Oh, okay, all right, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's talent specifically, but the way he's being used is definitely no longer at the tippy top. He's definitely closer to a bottom end 1 than he is a top, I think.
Tom, are you just as comfortable slotting in James Robinson for Joe Mixon with the injury to Mixon?
To be honest, didn't know Mixon got hurt. So yes.
Probably, I forgot Tom was on this call.
Yeah, I'll probably start Robinson next week. He just hadn't done enough prior to have any consistency, so I didn't want to play him yet.
I think Hyde was hurt against the Bengals, so he got like 90% of the snaps. So if that continues, he should produce pretty well.
I think the Jags like offensive coaching staff needed to be reminded that James Robinson is in fact like really good at running back, and that Carlos Hyde's a bum. He's okay, but he's just not that good. So I think this opportunity with Carlos Hyde being out, James Robinson should be a solid running back too rest of the season, I think.
Urban's gone after this year.
It's not looking good for that.
Yeah. I'm a little, yeah. Wait till ETN comes back next year. He'll be RB1. James Robinson will ride the bench.
Dude, they should keep them together. They'd be a nice little duo back there. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see what they do.
Tom, what's up with Ronald Jones? What's up with Rojo? Now speaking of playing the bench, he's not getting any carries.
No,
Yeah.
he's like dead to the world. He's like worth nothing right now.
I offered Tom a Chris Sterling Shepard for a Rojo, but he wasn't having it.
Oh, that is such a nothing trade. It hurts like that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just because I have Fournette, I'd want his backup. But yeah, I know.
Ronald Jones, I don't even think is Fournette's backup at this point, isn't it? Gio.
I mean, Gio's a third down guy, but Fournette, I would say, is the backup per se.
Tom, I was going to ask you about Damian Harris. I thought with James White out, he would definitely start doing better. I was in Tampa this week, but he had negative rushing yards. So
I mean, I think he almost led in rushing yards too, with negative yards. Did he not?
I mean, the thing is, you literally just like can't run against Tampa Bay. I think you throw this game out. I think the one against New Orleans is a little bit more concerning, but New Orleans' defense is good too. So I think you can throw these two games out like relatively, especially the Tampa one.
Do you have the confidence to start him next week instead of Robinson in any scenario there? Is he a possible scenario for your flex or no?
Probably not. I mean, he's probably not playing next week.
Ooh, I guess starting deep there.
I don't want to coach Tom's team for him, but there's no world where you start Damian Harris over James Robinson, right?
No, I should not.
No, not with ETN out.
But do you start Damian Harris over Robert Woods?
Oh, over
Yes.
Woods.
I wouldn't, but I just got Harris in a redraft, but yeah, I know the last couple of weeks is not looking good. Obviously, James White getting hurt helps a little bit, but just based on the last 2 weeks, and then you also take into consideration how the Patriots traditionally treat their RBs, like it's not looking very promising. I'm still holding out hope for him, but can't be encouraged right now.
Brandon Bolden's he's taking that James White role, so Harris isn't suddenly gonna get a bunch.
Say that again. You cut out for me.
Oh, gonna take that James White role. So Harris isn't gonna get a bunch of targets that he wasn't getting before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, I was just gonna say, and if anything's somewhat encouraging, James White was the only person on the Pats to get more than one carry on Sunday. So if that makes you happy.
Damian Harris, right?
Yeah, Damian Harris. Yeah.
James White didn't play.
Did I say James White?
Yeah, I knew you did. I have a quick question for Tom.
See what I can do.
This might be a little out of pocket, but based on the past couple of weeks, maybe not. Is there a scenario where you start Daniel Jones over Lamar Jackson?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't think it's out of pocket. I'm a Giants fan, so I'm a little biased, but I think that's a legitimate question you have to ask.
I have no idea. I really have to. It'd have to be probably matchup dependent. I'd have to feel like. That'd be the only reason.
I'll say this:
If you look at his schedule so far, like looking at Daniel Jones' last 4 games, if the 4 defenses you're choosing to play him against, it's Atlanta, and that was his worst game.
I think the worst defense is Washington.
Washington sucks.
Worst defense
out of those 4 teams.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't really paying.
I think Atlanta's defense is better than Washington's this year, which is crazy.
I don't know about that.
Washington's defense.
I don't know what
so
the numbers.
bad.
They are. You're right. They are blue. I don't know what the numbers say, but I would absolutely take Washington's over Atlanta's though.
I'll say this: you've got a rough couple weeks upcoming against the defense. You got Dallas, whose defense is actually surprisingly okay.
Yeah.
Then you've got the Rams, whose defense is
I'm not playing him the next couple of weeks, probably.
Relatively good, and Carolina's defense I think is good. That's still kind of a question mark for me. I think they're good.
I guess this is a Daniel Jones heat check. Riley, do you think he's the starter next year?
Yeah. If he keeps this performance up, he's like the only he's looked good. He's like not really turned the ball over like a crazy amount. And other than that, he's hitting some deep balls compared to none. So we'll take that. Also, quick point of the Giants: Kadarius Toney looks okay.
Riley, you should have taken.
What do you?
Yeah, your trade was Boop, and you know it.
It
What
wasn't
was
even
the
that
trade?
bad.
I don't remember.
It was Kirk. It wasn't even that bad.
It was Christian Kirk for Kadarius Toney, which is egregious.
Oof.
What's that? Christian Kirk was putting up mad points.
Definitely better than Kadarius Toney this year.
Yeah, but
this year it's a dynasty though.
Yeah, the upside of Kirk is like negligible.
This is like Kirk's like ceiling, whatever he's doing right now. I don't know what it is.
Getting snaps in the slot, which is nice. So you never know.
Exactly. That's his ceiling, like 20 snaps a game.
Ceiling.
I'm just messing.
I think that's everything I had for this game, unless anybody else had anything.
What did Tony do last week? While we're on the subject, did like his numbers? Riley, do you know?
God, don't waste our time on this.
I don't know exactly actually, but here I can pull it up.
Oh yeah, you good. We can keep going. Yeah, we could talk Austin.
6 for 9 targets, 6 receptions, 78 yards. Like just like pretty decent game for like a rookie.
Yeah.
He led the team in targets, which is pretty big.
And he looked pretty good when he got the ball, I think. So I'm relatively happy with that random draft pick I threw at the dartboard, just like the Giants.
All right.
Oh fuck.
All right. On next matchup, Bradley versus Riley. Man, this was low scoring. Like you would have expected this to be.
Snooze fest.
Yeah, this was the matchup of the week, and it ended up having the team with the least amount of points that won.
Yeah, so I'll run through it from my side. I was watching Red Zone, and then about halfway through the first quarter, I realized that Logan Thomas was hurt and had not touched the field. So that's tough. Kyler Murray had a good, not great game. DeAndre Swift disappointed, but he's against a good defense. I was kind of buying into the hype that Swift was matchup proof just because of his receiving work. Not really true, evidently. David Montgomery is sick. Unfortunately, he's hurt, which has put me in a bit of a pickle. I don't feel great about that. Earlier, I said I was going to talk about it. I'm sad.
It's nice you got Carson though.
I'm sad about Carson too. But Metcalf and Diggs and Cooper and Allen Robinson, my A1 prime 4 wide receiver group, has been consistently disappointing.
Terrible.
Yeah, I mean, you like 15 from the 3 guys you started. You still want one of them to like
pop off.
Yeah.
Dude, I was gonna call out specifically. I don't know what's up with Stephon Diggs, but he doesn't score touchdowns. Like he just doesn't, and I don't understand it.
Really?
Touchdowns in that offense. Dawson Knox.
Yeah, I think
just don't come.
There is some hefty regression coming for Dawson Knox, and I'm hoping some of that goes Stephon Diggs' way. Just maybe like 3 times in the next 5 weeks that he just stumbles into the end zone. That would help a lot. Chris Carson, DK Metcalf are kind of victims of the same crime, and that is a Pete Carroll-led offense.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one before. Victims of the same crime. I like that.
They both should be performing better, but the Seahawks offense is either doing absolutely nothing or they're super efficient and are just moving the ball and score in 5 plays and take forever to do it. So it's you're really at the whim of who Russell Wilson's throwing to that day. I also think
before you jump down specifically about Carson, he gave up a lot of snaps to Travis Homer in the passing game and quite a few carries to Alex Collins. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure Chris Carson is more hurt than it's being led on because
Oh.
he came off the field, I forget, like a week or two ago, and then Pete Carroll's been giving me the rope-a-dope just like he does every year that, Chris Carson's good to go.
Smacking his gum.
And then in the games, Chris Carson's like in, but then he's out for long stretches of time. So I don't know. I'm not really thrilled with Chris Carson being my running back 2, and that being like the bottom, that being like my last piece. Because
Carson's interesting. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm really like considering starting DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams, which is like that sucks.
Carson's interesting because he's like never been one to get like 20 plus carries. It seems like I feel like for the last couple years he's always been around that like 13 to like 16, 17 range. It's like weird, and he's like pretty good too. So.
The real problem is that
he's efficient. Like
his rushing attempts are pretty consistent in that like sub 15,
Mm-hmm.
but he normally gets a little bit more receiving work than he has been.
Yeah,
and he's really not getting any this year.
From like a dynasty perspective, I don't think it's egregious to say that this might be Carson's last year as a starter. It seems like he's getting hurt a lot.
Yeah,
I know he was hurt last year too.
I would.
I'll take him off your hands, Riley.
Yeah, I might give him to you if the playoff picture shifts unfavorably in my direction. So if I'm out, I'll ship you Chris Carson for some picks.
No, well,
you don't have any picks. Shit.
The wrong guy.
But yeah, that's all I've got to say about Chris Carson and Metcalf. They should be performing. Metcalf should be performing more. He looks good, but he's just like the cards haven't fallen his way yet. He hasn't had a lock-it game.
Riley, I think I'm definitely going to hit you up for some trade talks after this call. You got some people I'm interested in.
Austin and Riley, we need to have one of those throwback just Zoom trade call meetings.
I feel like this is like a little bit rude to say, and it's not directed at you, Austin. You just brought up trade talks.
Uh-huh.
I feel like I get disrespected every single trade offer that is sent to me.
Elaborate.
I just when I try to offer somebody a trade, I try and think about what a fair deal is, what's reasonable. And when I get sent trade offers, I have to fight tooth and nail from the start to get to a reasonable trade.
No, you know what, Riley? I feel you on that. I feel like I'm the same way. I feel like I just get disrespected.
I feel like everybody gets disrespected at some point. I mean, if we're calling out trade offers, I did get a second round pick and a Robbie Anderson for Jamar Chase offer from Riley, so I think that one was pretty.
That was right after the training camp where he was dropping, and that he had kicked his girlfriend or whatever that was. So I was like,
Hey, we haven't heard anything else about that. Collin, can you elaborate? We haven't got to hear from you for a while. I think you have the insight on that.
No, they haven't about the girlfriend thing.
Yeah,
I think it was. What am I trying to say? I honestly think it was fake. It wasn't even a real thing.
Yeah,
that's the last I heard of it too.
Yeah. So do I need to change his name on my team then? Do I need to give him a real nickname? It can't be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not fair what his name is right now.
Yeah, you tool.
I'll speak.
You pundit.
Collin, can you scroll up? I'll run through Bradley's team from my perspective. Dalvin Cook obviously disappointed. I mean he's coming off injury. I also think Cleveland's defense is slept on.
Did I say that?
So I think Dalvin Cook's gonna be fine. You have to start him, and he's just too good. He'll be fine. Keenan Allen, that game last night was maybe it was a good game, but God, it was unless you had Austin Eckler, it was not fun to watch. Fantasy wise, Cooper Kupp had an off week. He'll be fine. Him and Stafford were on the same page. 13 targets. You're happy with that if you're Bradley. Mike Gesicki is still an enigma. I don't know if he's good or not. The Dolphins are for sure not good. So.
Oh gosh. Going into the year, a lot of people were saying they were dark horse AFC East Like they were going to upset the Bills. Like quite a few people were going to talk about
I wasn't
how
as
good their
high
defense
on them coming into the year. I mean, I thought they'd be solid, but
their defense has regressed significantly from last year. Last year, their defense was solid and was like keeping them in games. This year, it's like the offense is so bad right now that the defense, if they are good, can't show it because they're on the field too much. Anyway,
yeah.
don't really want to talk about the Dolphins.
Yeah, and
much.
even last year, like you said, their defense, I think it overperformed to an extent. But like even if you look at some of the games they won, they had a stretch where they won like I don't even know 3, 4, 5 in a row. Their defense was just coming up with mad turnovers, and they were winning some of these games. Like it was ugly. It was like 17-13 and like some like sloppy games and stuff like that. Like I'm not surprised they're not as good this year. But
going in the list, Corey Davis. You are happy starting him as a flex. I think he's just a solid flex option, especially on Bradley's team. I think he should.
You think he's solid, Bill?
He's the best receiver.
Solid? Yeah, I don't know.
He's the best receiver in. If you're going to start a receiver from the Jets, you're going to start Corey Davis.
Yeah, I feel like he's more of a bye-week fill-in guy than he is a startable flex, in my opinion.
He's like a fringe startable guy in my opinion. He's like.
You got to throw out that New England game. That was like a bloodbath from start to finish. I don't know. I think Corey Davis is fine to start as a flex. 17 through the year.
From the best team in the league, though?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Like, because he's on Bradley's team, and Bradley's had the best record so far.
Oh, look at Bradley's bench. What other options do you have?
Well, Claypool's out.
Yeah, I mean, he should be. It didn't work out this week, but he should be starting Emmanuel Sanders instead of him.
Oh,
well,
for sure.
Evan, our boy Darnell Mooney finally showed out this week too. I mean, I think he's
Darnell Mooney.
Oh, I should bring up Allen Robinson real quick. I'm in pain. Allen Robinson looks just as good as he always looks, but the Bears' offense is so disgustingly terrible that it's. I'm officially in like the panic mode with Allen Robinson. I think he should, like optimistically, I'm saying like he should bounce back to like at least flexible wide receiver numbers, but I don't know, man. That offense is tough to watch. The only thing with Bradley, I think he's got to move on from Mike Davis. Mike Davis is not startable.
What did he do last week? What was their numbers?
He stumbled into the end zone. It was the only thing that saved Mike Davis's week.
To be fair, though, if you look at his stats, he hasn't scored less than 9 or more than 10 yet.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Brad, to your guys' point, from the best, quote-unquote, best team in the league, you should not be starting a flex that's getting you a floor and ceiling between 9.5 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Colin, I've cut you off like 6 times, so you should just talk over me.
I was gonna
be assertive, Colin. Say it with your chest.
I'm not trying to cut anyone off, but like, are you comfortable like starting a wide receiver and a running back from the same team? Obviously, you are because you have Montgomery and Robinson and Metcalf and Carson, but that's like I would not. That'd make me really nervous. That's just me, maybe.
So I'll say this. It's kind of been a theme in all of my fantasy leagues this year, and it was not intentional. It was just like drafting players that I had positive outlooks on at the positions that were available to me in the draft, and I ended up with Montgomery and Allen Robinson, Carson and Metcalf in Dynasty, and then in redraft I've got Dalvin and Justin Jefferson, and I had Mostert and Ayuk, and it's been a bloodbath everywhere. Bad drafting from me for sure.
No, I did a
tight end.
Max Williams.
Hey. He's not on your team though.
Waivers haven't cleared.
Expose him.
Honestly, it might be like it's gonna be streaming tight ends because there's no one. The only tight ends that I would look to get are Hawkinson and Fant, and and Reed is
not selling them.
He's not selling them, and if he is selling them, it's for like a price that you would have to pay with like blood diamonds to do.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I mean, I was trying to go get Fant from him, and I offered him that early second round pick and then like another bench piece, and he said like it's not even close. So
how long is Thomas out, Riley?
I don't think they've said.
Well, if you want someone who's really good but also not worth extremely high capital, got a crisp Rob Gronkowski for you.
Who's also week to week. Yeah, no thanks.
Hey, he's like the number one tight end before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Anything else in this one?
I think that's about everything in this game. We want to go to the next one.
All right. Okay. Deontay Johnson. How are you not starting him, Riley? I get you have some bigger names, but this guy, I tried to trade for him, but we're not.
I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't start him on a weekly basis over anyone Riley has.
I am at the point now where, due to my injury situation, Deontay Johnson will be started every week until Montgomery comes back, probably just from like a roster situation. So just like it's kind of interesting with redraft compared to Dynasty, right? With Dynasty, the injury situation feels so much more precarious because when you're competing and thinking that you're able to compete for the title, you're playing it like a redraft season where when one of your guys goes down, you're giving away pieces to like trade for and replace it. But when you're like me right now, when you're kind of feeling on the bubble, it's really hard to like go trade for Damian Williams to like as the backup,
right,
and pick him up and fill him in for the week because you're giving up future potential as opposed to just like, oh, I'm giving up someone on my bench and redraft or someone on his bench, blah, blah, blah. So It's kind of just an interesting situation. It's kind of the soft spot or like the irritation with, not really irritation, but the joking irritation with Bradley being called the infirmary because I'm in some dicey waters here. I think almost every player on my team has a Q next to their name right now.
Hey, Austin, it's about time, right?
That's true. Riley has had a lot of good fantasy luck, so it's about time that he has a bad fantasy year.
Also, it's just
I'm
another.
going to say, Riley, the good thing about you is I feel like of all the top teams, you definitely have the most depth of everyone. Like, especially.
Yeah, for sure. Tom, though, too.
Tom has depth, too, but I feel like Riley's depth pieces are more plug and play.
Fair enough, yeah.
Just has a lot of decent dudes. Like Riley has Deontay, Jamal,
I got you.
Allen Robinson, Curtis Samuel.
I forgot you had. How did you draft Deontay, Riley? Or
yeah, he did.
Oh damn! So yeah, like the whole time I used to look at your bench, I would see like Carson and like Williams and like other good pieces there. I always like neglected Johnson somehow on accident.
Right. Nice. Yeah, I definitely think that Riley had he still has the deepest team, and it's paying off with all the injuries he's had.
Yeah, it's redundant. It doesn't feel good though, but it should be salvageable. I'm back to square one though with tight end, which sucks.
Right.
Anyway, we can move on. I've been talking too much.
We'll just do Siggy and Chris next, and since neither of them are here, we can go a little faster through it.
Steve Young had 38 points. He straight killed it.
Talk to him. Yeah, what's up? What y'all think about this? The resurgence.
I think that could have been Collin, Sam Darnold, Jalen Hurts, or Stafford because Darnold's right in there with him.
What's up, Evan?
Colin and I, before the 2018 draft, I said Sam Darnold was going to have a better career than Lamar Jackson. It's finally coming true. Getting an MVP out of him, but
I'll admit that this makes Gase look really bad.
Yeah.
Darnold looks good.
Siggy's been, I'll give Siggy credit, he's been a Sam Darnold truther since last season. He loves Sam Darnold. He thinks he's really good, so props to him for finally starting him.
Do you guys think there's a world in which I can formulate a trade to Siggy to get
No.
more from him?
Yeah. DJ Moore.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know if you're gonna like it. I mean, because Riley has the assets like we just talked about. He has like good players on his bench. But
I was thinking, I was like formulating a trade that sounds so bad for me on paper, but I think it's actually good. But I'm not at liberty to say it. And also, I would send it to Siggy, get nothing, get radio silence for 6 hours, and then just decline a message. So it's not even worth talking about. Darnold's sick though. He's a great fantasy option. That he's doing all this without McCaffrey. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know
playing
about you guys, but I'm
Cowboys.
in the bullet on DJ Moore. I did not think he had this type of year in him.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I remember us getting on Reed about that, but right now he's looking really good.
Oh, Colin, this made me think about it. Well, not to get too off topic, but looking at our bets that we have for you that you sent me in your phone of your screenshot of all your bets for the year. We have a $20 bet that Burrow finishes in the top 10 in Dynasty.
Collin, come on now.
But let's see. Can we check the status of that really quick?
Yeah, he's 17th or 16th. I check it every day. Austin,
You check it every day.
Yeah, it doesn't change either each day. 16th? I don't know. I think, and they had like training wheels on them the first couple weeks. I still think there's a chance. I know it's a long shot. Top 15 would have been a better deal, but I don't think 10's out of question.
Well, I just made sure. I wanted to make sure I really got this on the call, just so we can refer back to that later, and I don't forget it. So. Good.
No, it's awesome. It's not going away.
There we go, Collin. That's what I like to hear.
All right, but yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. CeeDee Lamb, like that's back-to-back weeks. I have him in redraft, so it's kind of sucked. But like only 8 targets combined in the last 2 weeks. That's
not good, especially in that Cowboys offense.
Yeah, well,
you best believe I've been sending trades to Chris for CeeDee Lamb this week.
Oh, there's no way.
Dude, who would you give up though? Like you love him, you would have to, because Chris's timeline has just like shifted back like 2-3 years. So like he's probably not going to be as interested in Hopkins or whoever. So
the current trade I have out there is Lockett, Damian Williams, Deshaun Watson, Cam Akers, my second and a third for CeeDee Lamb.
No chance.
Wait, what was it, Austin?
Lockett.
Exactly. It's bad when he just rattles off like 8 like mediocre players.
Okay, so Lockett, Deshaun Watson, Damian Williams, Cam Akers, my second round pick, and a third round pick.
For CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah.
Okay, you're high. That's no value. Up 3 piles of shit put together is still a pile of shit. You can't just add them all together and it'd be a good package.
It's funny because you're offering that, and I think CeeDee Lamb is good, but you're gambling on that.
See, some people say I'm gambling. Some people say it's a horrible offer.
No, what is it? He's not giving us anything but substance.
Just don't get it twisted. It's both. It is a horrible offer, but you're also gambling.
Okay.
Like Austin,
the only person that he's not losing anything actually, because his second rounder. It depends how you feel about Akers and his Achilles, but other than that, Watson, even if he does like come back and like avoids all these out, he has Brady and Dak. Damian Williams is irrelevant. Who else did you say? Freaking Lockett's solid. I forgot about him. So Lockett's solid, but that's still not nearly.
Austin, this is the problem with big benches, and I know it's Dynasty, so it's like it is what it is, right? You need the big bench. But Damian Williams is a player that should not be rostered, but is. But no one's going to make a move for Damian Williams in the trade market. Like he is forever a bench sitter. Unless you're going to start him, Austin, I don't think anyone's taking him.
That's okay.
Especially
I keeping him away from someone that wants him. So
Yeah, I mean,
no
that's
one wants him though.
That's valid. But have you considered the fact that I have Chicago's real backup?
Oh, Khalil Herbert? Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah.
When is Collin supposed to come back?
Fucking around.
5 to 6 weeks.
That was before
Well,
the season.
The issue is I think they said 4 to 5 weeks. Or no, you said Cohen. I'm sorry, but for
I
Montgomery,
thought you said
5 weeks. But they also have a bye in 6 weeks after, so it might end up being 7.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Are we still on Chris and Siggy's matchup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get off Chicago backfield talk. Why did Chris start fucking Robert Tonyan over Goddard?
Why does Chris do a lot of things? You see the worst manager? He put up what was this total? 90 something out of a possible 150 something.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous.
To be fair, he had some guys go off on his bench that he wouldn't start, like Van Jefferson or Renfro.
Yeah, no, I was just making a joke because Chris makes a lot of you think at least quote unquote questionable decisions, but I like at the same time how he does his own thing. But yeah,
I do.
Wait, did he start? Oh no,
I legitimately don't know the answer to your question, Evan. I don't know if there's a world in which you have Goddard and you start Tonyan over him. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't understand. I know Goddard is fighting off Ertz, but he's still putting up numbers. He's putting up really good numbers. I think
he has a high snap count too.
He's a seventh ranked tight end right now. I mean,
you're not thrilled starting Goddard, but Tonyan has done nothing this year.
Yeah.
Anyone else on this matchup? I'm just impressed.
Yeah, it's still abysmal that Mark Andrews has not caught a touchdown this year. As much as
that's crazy,
yeah. Yeah, he's putting up some decent numbers though.
Right.
Oh,
which is good.
Actually, I kind of want to talk about that because you see Mark Andrews get most of his touchdowns are in the red zone. He doesn't have deep shots.
Yeah.
But Lamar, okay, I'm just gonna go to PFF real quick. Quarter pass. So this average depth per target, I really like this. Lamar is, among guys above 20%. His average depth per target is 12.5.
That's crazy.
Those are all
throwing the ball deep to Marquise Brown a lot.
I was gonna say those are all the Marquise Brown.
Yeah, and that's what I was also gonna mention how much that's
still
helping. But I don't know what was he last year.
Siggy has Marquise Brown, right? Marquise Brown's a solid startable wide receiver.
He's all of a sudden. Yeah, wait till the Bateman comes back. That'll open up more room for Marquise Brown to operate deep.
I think it'll definitely hurt him though.
No, he doesn't get a ton of targets as it is. This year, I guess he is a little bit, but historically,
I think Bateman could definitely help you a lot, Evan. Once he's in there, as much as Lamar's thrown the ball this year more than he ever has, and he's doing a good job. So
you think this year he can help him a lot?
Well, it's going to actually technically hurt him based on his draft capital.
Yeah, this year's a wash for me.
He's going to score for his points. He's going to score into the future. I think he's going to be a good piece for him.
Bateman, I will say Bateman, I don't know if Collin remembers this, but Bateman was the one guy. I remember watching him as a freshman at Minnesota, and I was like, I need to draft him when he comes to the NFL. I want him on every single team of mine. I want the Eagles to take him. So I finally was able to get him on a Dynasty team, so I'm excited for him. I think he is definitely wide receiver one potential.
That's how I felt about Kadarius Toney, too. Really happy about it.
God bless Riley. All right, our favorite matchup of the week.
Baby. Oh, baby. 117 when you're rebuilding, it's respectable. Don't get it twisted. I put up just as many as Riley did this week. So
can you rebuild before you've ever built anything?
How about retool?
Oh,
cool.
If you're looking at Aggies scores, Aggies has dropped 187. What else is he at?
Going for that 200 mark.
187, 123, and then he scored in the 150s. So That's pretty solid. That 3 of his 4 weeks are 150 plus. I don't think anybody else has that.
Bradley?
Not even Bradley. I mean, his last 2 weeks he's won with some pretty low scores. Or not last. I guess he scored 170 the week before, but
Gotcha.
no,
Yeah,
Bradley's in the same bucket. He scored over 150 times as well.
Yeah, no. Mahomes is gonna Mahomes. Obviously, I'll take 45 points. Of course, not gonna expect that for an average, but that's great. Saquon, I'm pleasantly surprised that seems to be working out. So he's
fully back.
Right.
He's back to where he was. Now you got about 3 weeks before he goes out with a knee injury again. But...
Oh, this guy hating. You're a Giants fan. You're supposed to be optimistic.
I love Saquon, but I'm just it's one of those things.
No, he'll be good. Chubb actually fed him the ball, 21 carries.
Dude, I don't know what it is about Chubb, but it pisses me off because he has 100 yards rushing and he barely gets into the double digits on points because he just doesn't catch the ball. And it really just aggravates me because he's such a good running back, but his point total.
When you have Kareem Hunt behind you and you want to utilize him, and fair enough, but Kareem Hunt, especially I feel like the last 2 weeks he's been poaching a lot of points from Chubb.
And Felton too. Felton's getting some touches as well for no reason whatsoever.
Kareem Hunt looks so good whenever he touches the ball. It's crazy. And so does Chubb. I mean, both of them are like really good running backs, but for some reason they love to throw Kareem Hunt in on the goal line.
Yeah, no doubt. Evans.
Yeah, I was gonna call out that your boy Golladay decided to show up this week. That was nice.
I like it. This is promising. 7 targets, 6 receptions, 116 yards. So hopefully he can connect with your boy Danny Dimes, Riley, on a few big plays down the field.
Yeah. So as the resident Giants expert, I think it is a good sign. So despite like Shepard and Slayton being out, right? It's a good sign that with Evan Ingram coming back, that you still got decent target share from Golladay. Mm-hmm. You take that. I think the Giants are good. I think you're happy to have a piece there.
I'm not convinced yet, Riley, and I think it comes back to the fact that Danny Dimes threw for 400 yards this week, 400. And Golladay still doesn't get the 20 points. And I know he didn't have a touchdown, but...
Well, yeah, he did. I mean, he has 116 yards. I mean, touchdowns like hit or miss.
There's something about him that makes me... I really, personally, I don't want anybody on the Giants offense unless they're named Saquon Barkley.
Collin, what are we looking at here?
So I wanted to show this. I almost trade. I was trying to figure out a trade for Golladay almost because... intermediate passes, so that's 10 to 19 yards, which you'll notice a lot of your top wide receivers, grade well or get the most targets in this range. That's just where they, feast, so to speak. But Golladay has the most targets in this range, and he grades really well, 4th. So I think he could have a really good season moving forward.
Oh, Collin, I don't mean to be a shit disturber, but can you said that you're elite receivers. Can you click on the receptions again? You had it filtered. Oh, am I looking?
I had it on targets.
Okay.
He has the most targets and receptions.
On one of your filters, you had some real stinker names that popped up. So
I think he filtered it by that. Oh, okay. Christian Kirk, baby.
Never mind. Disregard.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. His just intermediate work, So I think that's pretty important.
Yeah.
Interesting. Go buy a PFF subscription so I can be as good as Collin at fantasy.
Well, Collin said he's going to put his PFF subscription username and password in the chat. So.
What if we just have a joint account and just split the cost?
Yeah, we're actually going to start charging $10 added to our fees for our league-wide PFF subscription. So.
Yeah.
It's probably only have to be $33, right, Collin? Between 10 people.
I paid $140, but that was
Oh shit, I forgot. That's expensive.
Usually 200. But yeah, $20.
Gotcha.
We'll let Collin
Mike
the
Evans
cost on that, and then we'll lay the information to me.
75-yard games, too. 12 targets for Mike Evans. So despite a dud first week, Debo, I don't expect him obviously to keep up that rate, but I'm pleasantly surprised. Got lucky there because I was pretty sad about having to give up Woods for him, but it's working out so far.
Yeah, this is the Tom trade I think that he wanted to get into a little bit. Poor Tom.
Yeah.
And then he traded Henderson away.
Yeah, well, Henderson, it doesn't like accurately depict. That's just like all the people I gave up.
No, I'm saying then he traded Henderson away. Tom
never had Henderson, is what I'm saying. Because it was a three-way.
Oh, it's racing trade.
Yeah. Freaking Fournette. I'm hoping now that it seems like he's seemingly established himself as RB1. I'm hoping I can expect more points out of him consistently going forward, but we'll see. So
how long is Gio out again?
I have no idea, to be honest.
I honestly think that played a big role in him.
That's fair. Yeah, for sure. But still, 20 carries though. I'll take that anyway.
Yeah, Tampa is second to San Francisco in their running back clown fiesta because Fournette will get the ball a ton, and then all of a sudden it'll be Rojo again, and then Gio with a sprinkling of Gio. That's how it was last year.
The weather on Sunday night was also horrible. I think that played a factor in that as well.
Yeah, that's fair. Maybe. Yeah. Also, yeah, sure. I forgot. Tom, are you still on here? I forgot this dude's on the call.
I think he's probably making dinner, if I had to guess, the way that he came back.
I'm making dinner. Still here.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom. I like your apartment. It looks pretty sweet.
Oh, Tom, you're in your apartment now? That's cool. I haven't spoken
to you. Didn't see Snapchat?
In a minute. No. I don't look at Snapchat enough. I'm bad at it.
Did you ever play AJ?
Not unless I desperately needed to. I mean,
filler maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have no obviously if you continue this rate for 4 or 5 straight weeks.
Start up here soon, boys. I don't think we have any next week, but I think it's week 6 when they start. Is that right?
Start what?
The bye weeks. They start coming in.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, to your point though, I did not know he was getting this type of snap percentage. Dang, that's
I didn't realize that either. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's the number 2.
Yeah.
I don't think we have a clear number 2. I feel like it's so.
That's fair.
It's more AJ Green than it is.
From a snap perspective,
more.
Yeah, it's definitely Green.
Yeah. He's been solid. Yeah. Who did it? Oh, Evan.
Yeah, I like Jacoby Myers a lot. But
Evan, what's your how much you like Tony Pollard going forward in Dynasty, just in general?
I go back. I go back and forth with the 182. I know a lot of people want him. Both a bunch of people, 3, that want Tony Pollard.
That's really...
So I don't know if I want to keep him long term.
You've got 3 interested parties in Tony Pollard. Is that real?
Yeah.
I mean,
a hot commodity apparently.
What the hell?
I'm not surprised. I'm not saying I want him that bad, but I mean, I'm not surprised. He's been playing well. He's only 24. Maybe people are banking on Zeke either wearing down or getting hurt soon.
The issue is, I just feel like Zeke's not going away for 2 years minimum, so then that puts Pollard at 26 when he could ever get the job.
That's fair. Well, I wonder when his what his contract situation, how many more years he's tied to Dallas. Do you know?
I mean, he's in year 2, so that he probably has 2 more years. I mean,
year 3, right? It's year 3.
So he's got next year, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah, 2023, he'll be a free agent.
Wait, you're talking about?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Pollard. Oh, Elliott signed through.
Yeah. No, I was talking about Pollard
or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I was talking about Pollard.
Oh yeah, Pollard signed through next season, and then his contract's up.
Yeah, because he just signed that 6-year, that fatty,
Yeah.
like a year or two ago.
They've gotten out, I think, after next year or the year after, though. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, after here.
Evan, is there anybody you wanted to talk about on your team?
I mean, pedestrian week from Josh Allen. Nothing much. I mean, Gibson finally got some carries. Still would like to get some more receiving work. Pitts is doing about what I thought he would as a rookie.
Yeah, slightly worse than Tyler Higbee. That's probably what you predicted.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
He's a rookie tight end.
Yeah, he's 21, and
He turned 21 today.
Yeah, he just turned 21.
That's
just turned 21, and he's like, you're not competing, so it doesn't matter to you that he's not putting up numbers this year.
Yeah, and he's not.
Cordero Patterson is what everybody hoped Kyle Pitts would be.
Shut up.
I expected him to maybe be doing a tad better, but this is about on par with what
I mean, historically, like rookie tight ends never do well. Tight ends are like one of the positions that peak really late, like 27, 28.
Pretty sure it's 27.
Like Kittle, Waller, Kelsey were kind of a little bit late.
Yeah.
Evan, any concerns long term with Pitts? I feel like Atlanta's quarterback situation is tenuous.
Yeah. Nah, I'm not really too worried. I think he'll put up points no matter who's the quarterback.
Is there any way you sell Pitts right now, Evan?
Is there any way what? I sell him?
Sell Pitts?
I mean, I'm always open to trade.
I mean, there's always a price, but
round picks for him. I mean, I think he's the dynasty number one. If you were starting a dynasty today, I think you would take him one.
Who?
So, Pitts.
I need a quick refresher, by the way, on what the tight end premium is in our league.
It's just full PPR instead of half.
Yeah, I want to quickly just state my dissatisfaction with the rule.
That was just a straight setup.
Is that why?
What's that?
I said, are you dissatisfied because you punted at the position?
Yeah. It wasn't really a punt, because it was. Yeah, it was a punt. Yeah, I'm dissatisfied.
You want Dawson Knox?
No. I do, but not for the price that I'm gonna buy him for. I'm buying high.
I'll take a second for him.
Yeah, that's egregiously high.
Dude's the number 3 tight end right now.
Yeah.
No, but my young guys I'm seeing not a lot from them, but a lot of them are also hurt or inactive every week. So, not too much to comment on there. Tony Jones is disappointing getting carted off the field.
Who is that?
Tony Jones.
Other than ETN, obviously I know you got picks and stuff that you're looking forward to in the future. Other than ETN and then the obvious guys like Allen, Brown, maybe
Bateman.
Judy. Are you expecting or hopeful on any of your people on your bench? And when I say hopeful, I mean you're actually looking forward to using them in the future, or you feel promising. You feel they're promising.
Definitely Bateman.
Just darts.
Definitely Bateman.
Mims for sure.
Mims is, I don't know. I think he's really good.
Shut
up! You're kidding.
I also think Mims is actually, he has the potential to be good, but he's just not. He's just not
getting the opportunity.
It's crazy.
You guys are being serious. I thought you guys are making a
really
joke.
wouldn't roster him. There's no way I would.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why is he still rostered at this point?
What are you talking about?
Colin, can you click on Mims' page?
Roster him. 23-year-old pick.
He's a 23-year-old.
He hasn't played the last 3 games.
Obviously, he's talented. You cannot say he's not talented. He was a second-round pick.
He's not good.
There's been a lot of his first and second-round picks that have just been busts. I mean, he's
not a bust though.
Get him.
He put up 400 yards last year.
Some team will pick him up out of free agency, and he'll be a wide receiver 2. I think he'll be fine.
He'll be. Yeah, he either needs to be traded or
the Jets obviously.
But why does he need to be traded though? Like why you're saying the Jets are just deciding not to
right now doesn't like
utilize value?
Current organization does not like. Why are we talking about Denzel Mims? Fuck. Sorry, I swore again.
Does not
Where
like
goes your own fucking roster?
I just love how I have
the language. Hey, hey, that's the point of this Zoom. We talk about everyone's rosters, fool.
Mims is a good prospect.
Before we head out for the night, I asked Collin, because he has his PFF subscription, I told him to pull out a couple random stats that he thought was interesting that he could share with us because no one else has access to this. So I didn't know what he was able to find.
You just wanted like a cheat code a little bit so you could.
Yeah, he does. You should hear Austin talk about his little fantasy podcast. He's like gets a little squealy, like a little girl or something. Like when you ask him about it.
Oh, wait, what podcast?
Yeah, Austin, what podcast?
What are you talking about?
I know what podcast it is. I listen to the same one. The Cardinals wide receiver thing. I heard the same thing.
Yeah, I also heard that.
Yeah. No, Austin, what do you mean what podcast? You say you listen to like five different fantasy podcasts.
For sure. What about it though?
I was just saying you get all squealy like a little girl when someone asks you about him because you don't want to give up proprietary information or what you call proprietary.
Well, other people listen to the one I just brought that stat up on, but I listen to
what podcast is it?
The Football.
Fantasy Footballers.
Yeah.
With
the host looks like a blonde version of Evan.
Andy, Mike, and who's the other one? I always forget.
Evan?
No.
I will say that I've the more I started listening to the podcast this year, and my performance is significantly worse in fantasy. Just correlation.
Do you make decisions based off like what they? Oh,
God,
okay.
no.
Well, do you not, Collin? Otherwise, then why do you listen to podcasts?
It influenced them, but I'm not like making decisions solely based on it. But
I got you.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah, it's good to I'd like to hear their opinions, and it's entertaining. But I have my own opinions, like anyone else. Okay, I wanted to bring this up just to point out Javonte Williams.
Shut up! I want him, Collin, and you're not giving him to me.
No one's getting him. I gave up a 2023 first for him. Okay, he's on my team forever.
Yeah, Collin held that tight to the vest.
Yeah.
Hey, I think Collin said he was going to sell them to me. He said he wanted Deshaun back and he wanted his 2023 first back. I said, okay, I'll get on.
Well, you only have one of those things, so.
I said, give me the 2023 first pack and something better than Deshaun. And then I said I'd do it. So this MTF is just missed tackles forced, and he's second with 17 and, a lot less carries, which I think is pretty impressive. And he's only averaging 4 yards per carry. That Broncos O-line has not been as good as expected.
How does it grade out in the overall O-line from a rushing perspective?
The Broncos?
Yeah.
Run block. So they're middle of the pack, 17.
Huh. It's not bad.
But
Can you pull up Denzel Mims' PFF score?
Please do it.
It's 0. Okay. No, actually, I think it's pretty good because of that one snap.
Can you see last year's data or no? I'd be curious to see his last year's data.
Sure.
He showed flashes last year. I'm telling you, Denzel Mims is a good
Denzel
prospect.
Mims is a good receiver.
He's better than a random dart throw on a practice squad rookie wide receiver in Tampa.
Yeah, no doubt. I
would rather have a 2024 third round pick from the best team in the league than him.
Well, good thing you're not
I was
rostered.
joking when I said he should not be rostered, but I don't know why you guys are so optimistic about him. He showed a couple flashes the year before, but it's a what have you done for me lately league. This dude is not getting on the field. I don't know why that seems promising to you guys.
Dynasty. It's what can you do for me in the future?
Yeah, but still, it's obviously he's not doing something right if he can't even get on the field.
Pass blocking. I just wanted to point out how Gibson, I said this before, but Gibson grades 21.5, which is very really bad.
Do you think that's part of the reason he's not getting on the field on third downs?
I don't know for sure, but I mean, I think it plays a role. And then like Gaskin, another one, he's 18.1, which is, yeah, that's just awful. And then Malcolm Brown is number 1 at 9. So,
That's the sole reason he was on the Rams the last like 2 years.
Askin is like one of the bigger busts of the year, I think.
Your boy
Yeah, that's
Javante's up there again, Colin. I know you just wanted to pull stats for him, so.
oh, yeah, you know.
Evan, who'd you trade Gaskin to Siggy?
Yeah.
Huh. Siggy made a lot of like. I feel like he got rid of like, in my opinion, he got rid of like a lot of higher end talent for like depth and stuff that people that either didn't pan out or he doesn't even really play. But
yeah, I
neither
feel
here
like
nor there.
I don't get the same. I don't get to fleece people the way that other people fleece people.
I agree.
There have been some trades
right.
that I look at that come across the screen that I like legitimately don't understand what the person was thinking.
I second, third, and fourth that, Riley.
And I'm never the person who's like, oh yeah, I was on the receiving, like I got the fleece, you know, I got the wool, that sheep's
Nor are you the one
I got the
giving
wool.
the fleece either, right? Like you're just not involved in it at all.
You have to like a salesman. You got to sell it.
Yeah,
Collin and I have the most. I always say this. Collin and I have the most respectful trade discussions out of anyone.
I can imagine. I bet.
We both say our piece, and then if it's not like close, we go, all right, we'll move on.
Well, Riley, when you're interested in buying Damian Williams, I'll be here. Wow.
Yeah, I'll give you.
I know that you wanted me to drop him since the beginning of the year. You kept telling me he was worthless, and I was like, I know he's not